Virgil van Dijk orders Liverpool players to follow 6 basics to turn around terrible form. Virgil van Dijk says Liverpool have to get back to basics. Starting with Wednesday night's Champions League clash against PSV Eindhoven, the Reds come into the Champions League contest off the back of 6 defeats and 7 in the Premier League, where Saturday's 3-0 defeat at home to Nottingham Forest served as their worst result of the season. In Europe, though, things have been somewhat different, and the Reds have won 3 of their 4 Champions League clashes to stand a good chance of progressing straight through to the knockout stages via a top 8 finish. Dutch international Van Dijk knows that his team need to be on form to see off PSV though, with the Eredivisie side having beaten Italian champions Napoli 6-2 in this competition earlier this season. Everyone has to step up and take responsibility, and show that they have the desire and the character to turn things around. Van Dijk writes in the match program produced by Reach Sport, "At the moment, we are letting ourselves down, letting the manager down, and letting you guys down. And we know that has to change. Like I say, it is on us to make that change. Nobody else. We can talk about what's going wrong and what we need to do, but it's about actions, not words. Each and every one of us has to first look in the mirror, and then, as a team, we have to come together to show that we are better than this, stronger than this. It all starts with the basics. Hard work, a willingness to fight for every first ball, every second ball, to compete in every duel, to block shots and win challenges. We have to do all of those things as a team. It is the only way." Reds boss Arne Slot also called on his side to raise their game in his match program notes. "On Saturday, we did not meet the kind of standards that we set for ourselves," he said. "This is clear. I said afterwards that in the circumstances the crowd stayed with us in a way that maybe wouldn't happen at other clubs. But this is not something that we should take for granted. Again, it is up to us to create the conditions for positive support. By playing good football, competing at all times, and showing the kind of drive that Liverpool teams are known for, this is a responsibility that we all should embrace because we know from experience how positive the situation can become when it is like this." Mohamed Salah told he faces axe as ex-Liverpool star, pretty certain Arne Slot would be sacked. Mid Liverpool's loss of form, according to Dietmar Hamann, with the ex-Reds midfielder pretty certain. Slot would be sacked if the Reds had started last season, as they have done the current campaign. Salah has scored 5 goals in all competitions. This season, as the reigning champions, has slumped down to the bottom half of the Premier League table. Losing half of their 12 matches so far, things have been more positive in the Champions League though, with Liverpool having won 3 of their 4 games ahead of the visit of Dutch side PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday. Ahead of that game though, Harmon says Slot needs to strongly consider leaving out last season's top scorer if the Reds are to improve. Does Arne Slot need to consider dropping Mohamed Salah 100% if he thinks it's the right thing to do? And I think there's reasons to do it, Harmon told CoinCasino.com. The only thing is that by dropping him, do you think things will get better? I'm not too sure, but obviously he's got to do something now, because at the moment, they've got too many players who want to play with the ball and don't do the dirty work. So the balance of the team, the dynamics of the team, just don't seem to be right. If he takes the decision to take Salah out of the team, he's got to do it. I'd probably back him if he would. Slot arrived to little fanfare last summer when the Dutchman replaced Jurgen Klopp in the Anfield hot seat, but he went on to surprise everyone by guiding the Reds to the Premier League title. But Harmon feels that if the Reds, who were showing their current form last season, when Slot didn't have that success in the bank, then the Dutchman would be struggling to hold on to his job. If this run of form happened last season when Arne Slot joined the club, he wouldn't be in a job now, said Harmon. I'm pretty certain that's the case. He's got a lot of credit in the bank, and in a way, rightly so, because he won the league. But then again, that's in the past. He did wonderful things last season, and the team was fantastic to watch. They really bullied the Premier League last season, which nobody expected, but you've got to look forward now, and what you want to see is progress. If you don't see progress, I don't think last season will save him. Liverpool secures UEFA progression with late drama as Trent Condorty nets last gasp winner. Liverpool, U19, S1 laid on against PSV, thanks to a Trent Condorty goal that booked her place in the UEFA Youth League knockout phase. Nana trainee Hiunuguma or Omar Nalu, all of whom are eligible to feature in the Youth League, were involved here, either from the off or from the bench, suggesting they will be involved for the first team in the Senior Champions League tie later. Pinnington moved into midfield with the lack of Gioni, with Alvin Aman at left back. It remained that way for Liverpool until Prince Sis went off with an injury early in the second, with Haydn Murahome coming on in midfield and Pinnington moving back. Sisu picked up an early yellow card and was treading a fine line. A few times when it came to avoiding a second, played center back, he had a tricky first half. with a couple of loose passes creating danger in addition to his fouls. Kieran Morrison, in the number 10 role, was the brightest spark early on, alongside Condorty, but it was rare that Liverpool managed to play the ball into them in areas anywhere close to PSV shot-stopper Kane Aert's goal. Josh "Sonny" Lambie, as much as he tried to link things, was a little isolated. Kiro Figueroa has played well in this competition, but he was absent here. Midway through the first half, Morrison and Joe Bradshaw switched over, with the former moving out wide. That saw a slight improvement for the pair, but neither was hugely involved. Morrison tended to try and do everything on his own, while Condorty appeared increasingly frustrated as the game went on down the opposite flank. The former did go close from a free kick, but it looked like the Reds would not get the win they were pushing for. In a game of few clear-cut chances, Amir Buhamdi of PSV put one low shot narrowly wide, and Bradshaw and Morrison saw attempts from the edge of the penalty area either closed down or Izzoli saved. But then from a late corner, Pennington headed down for Condorty to poke home with only a couple of minutes remaining, having beaten Galatasaray and Eintracht Frankfurt. In addition to drawing with Atletico and losing heavily to Real Madrid, Liverpool now sits on 10 points from a possible 15 in the Youth League. Its final group game is against Inter Milan next month. Any result there will see the Reds finish high enough in the standings to qualify for the knockouts. Jarell Quansah says how he really feels about Liverpool's exit after upsetting Man City. Bayer Leverkusen stunned Manchester City in the Champions League on Tuesday, holding in Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, less scoreless in a 2-2-0 victory. Former Liverpool youngster Jarell Quansah started at right center-back for Leverkusen on Tuesday, his third in the Champions League this season, after his £35 million, $46 million move over the summer. The win moved his Leverkusen side up to 13th in the Champions League table, an impressive feat considering the team's early season trouble under new manager and since sacked Erik ten Hag. Quansah was interviewed on the TNT Sports panel post-game by Jolyon Lescott and Owen Hargreaves and asked about how he feels post-transfer. "It's been good. It's been really good," Quansah answered. "Loved the city where I'm staying, so it's really nice. It's refreshing. It's something completely different. Learning a new language," he added, prompting a back and forth with Hargreaves, an Englishman who moved from Manchester United to Bayern Munich, about learning German. It was a bit of a smash-and-grab win for the German side, losing the shot battled 19-7 and the XG difference 1.84 to 0.55. Quansah started in a back three next to Janel Belosian and Loic Bad. Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola made 10 changes to his side after their 2-1 defeat to Newcastle United, leaving Haaland, Foden, and Jeremy Doku on the bench. "If we win, it wouldn't have been a problem," he said of the criticism of the move. "So I accept that maybe it was a lot, but if we're playing every 2, 3, or 4 days, but maybe it was too much." Seeing the result, the win keeps Quansah in the minds of the English hierarchy ahead of the 2026 World Cup. He earned his first international call-up as a member of Liverpool in the spring and won his first international cap in November. "It is every boy's dream to play for their country in the World Cup," he added in his post-game chat. "It's about what I do from now till March. Everything I do will be at the club. The better I play at the club, the better I will do in the future." Quansah started 17 league games, 30 appearances in 2 seasons with the Reds, winning the Premier League title in his second season. He boasts 8 league starts and 3 UCL starts this fall for